Darius Garland is the mystery man of this year's draft, only playing 4 games, getting hurt in his fifth in his college career. But as a 5-star recruit, as one of the best high school players in all the country, and the best recruit in Vanderbilt's history, obviously he's still getting a lot of recognition and will be a top prospect in Thursday's draft. I took a look at Garland's film from those 4 games, and I have to say, I came away really, really impressed and believe that he's really being slept on and deserves consideration for one of the top 3 picks. Let's take a look, deep dive into his film, and make sure you check out the full write up on lineups, which will be pinned to this article. First and foremost, the thing that really stands out about him, his ability to get his own shot off at any time, similar to a Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving. He really kind of has that wiggle to his game where he's able to pull up from deep behind the three-point line, off side steps, step backs. He is just a big-time shot maker, has phenomenal touch on his shot, really fluid. He's the son of a pro. You see, again, that logo Lillard type range, the little hop deep behind the three. He has phenomenal range on his shot, really good arc, really good stroke, really good follow through. And then, like I said, he can really get it off against anybody. In the NBA, especially with how little you're allowed to touch guys on the perimeter, he has every little step back between the legs. He has a massive, quote, bag, as they call it, to get his shot off. And then on top of it, like I said, he kind of just has limitless range, good gamesmanship, quick and efficient, like Dame, like Kyrie, to get his shot off. Little shot fake, one dribble, step back. Big time shooter, big time shot maker. Take a look at this one. End of quarter, gets double teamed. You see how he, again, with the ball, he's got a really, really tight handle. You see him through the legs, a little inside out, the crossover between the legs again, into a between the legs step back. That's tough. That's a lot of moves. That's a lot of stuff off the dribble. You see some D'Angelo Russell in his game, a little bit of Trae Young. Really good at changing his pace, changing his speeds. He's talked about that's something he really watches. Again, with his dad, who was a 7-year pro in the NBA, with his trainers, you see him here drawing the double on the pick and roll, letting his man come back, square him up. You see him slow up here. So his man sits up, stands up just for a second with both hands up. And when he sees that, that's when he's crossing over to get by him, steps into him for the step back, elevates, creates his own space. Again, these are the kind of Lillard shots that I think he's going to be really, really big time with at the next level. Even in the mid-range, Steph loves this side drag and having this step-back ability like this. You see he's really bouncy, really quick twitch athlete, being able to get his own shot off at any time. On top of that, alongside with the wiggle, he's also able to use that to get to the rim, of course, frequently. Really good at reading different pick-and-roll coverages here against the hedge. He goes to the split, tries the hang, slide, layup with the left hand, which he happens to miss. But you can see, big-time spot-up shooter as well, gets to his spot, holds his follow-through. This play again against the hedge, good job stringing it out there. Aggressive, attacking to the basket, good touch around the rim, good finisher. See again the handle, the change of speeds constantly. Left hand's on the ball between the legs here to an in and out with the right hand. Look at that. He's got a big-time handle. This is Kyrie-type stuff. Takes the bump, finish through the contact. Again, just constantly changing his speeds. That's the biggest thing you see with him. Really knows how to use his body. Change of pace. That's what a huge part of the game is today. As you see, he gets the ball back here into a second pick and roll where the defender is going to come up on the wrong side. And again, uses that hang glide in the air to put the ball in his left hand, finish at the rim. Really smooth finisher. This play, funny enough, is actually a Portland Trail Blazers play. I wonder if they put this in watching Dame, but he's going to hit the big on the baseline out of bounds, get it back with his man trailing. Watch here how he gives him a little subtle head fake just to freeze him for a second, like he's going back out to the perimeter, and right there he's going to put the ball down, use the rim as a shield to get it on the other side and finish off the glass. Tough finishes. Here we see the split again on the pick and roll to the no-look pass. Big man happens to blow the layup. A few of his passes I saw guys miss easy passes, easy shots that he creates. Good lob passer, pretty good pick and roll passer, good vision, smart player. I think using the assists on him from his first 4 college games against pretty solid competition is a pretty unfair knock. I don't see an elite passer at the next level, but I see a guy who draws defenders in, is unselfish, loves creating plays for others. I think like Kyrie, like Dame, he's not going to be known as a passer. He's not going to be an exceptional passer, but I think he's perfectly fine as a pretty primary ball handler. You see again hitting the lob out of the corner that time. If I do get a little nitpicky, it's things like this that you'll see a few examples of. As he comes off this pick and roll here, he really likes to kind of reverse pivot and end up throwing the ball with his right hand as you see him kind of spin and use his right hand to hit the roll. At the next level in the NBA, I think you have to be able to make this pass with your left hand, kind of going towards your left, staying up in the air, and hitting the roll. It's an easier pass in the air, going to your left. You're not really going to have time to spin back and throw that right-handed all that often. At the next level, you see a couple examples coming up here where he's going to do that same thing, and it's going to go against him a couple times. Also struggles sometimes playing against size, playing against traps, as Dame does, as Kyrie does. So it's not a fatal flaw, but like I said, situations like this, he's got to be able to read, okay, right now I'd probably try to make this pass over the top to the big right here, or even to the stretch 4 popping out. Instead, he tries the really tough cross-court pass, which gets stolen easily. Not great at reading coverages when he's really trapped, really aggressive against. We'll try to force passes in there from time to time as well. As you see here, maybe his big man was late rolling just for a second, but got to put a little more touch on this, got to get this pass over the top. Instead, he tries to really zip it through a crowd, and I think maybe a couple guys get their hand on it to knock it away. Here you see him again, uncomfortable going to his left to pass the ball, really doesn't like passing to his left, has a tendency to pick it back up, try to force the pass with that right hand on it as well. And you see here, he just does a really poor job reading it as the help is still in on the big. As he tries to force it in there, it gets stolen easily. Few people talk about defense as a knock on him. That I don't really see as much. I see a pretty solid defender. I don't see a guy who you're going to have to hide at the next level. I see a guy who gets up and aggressive into the ball in a good stance, really gets up into his man, pursues through screens, finishes plays. Again, I see a guy with a low center of gravity, a good base, a willing defender, uses his hands, uses his body, good help positioning, knows how to play. Some people look at this play and think, oh, what's he doing on this? But you know what? This was absolutely the right play to make. As you see, his man cuts through right here. He's going to do a great job staying on the help line right in the middle. As we get a back cut right here, he's right there to take the layup away. That's great weak side awareness. Could have finished it maybe with another effort. But again, I'm nitpicking here. Here you see him execute an ice, common pick and roll coverage at the next level, getting up and aggressive at the ball to keep it to the baseline, continuing pursuit. I see a guy who's going to be a pretty solid defender. I don't see how that's a knock on him. And then we see again offensively, he's got great touch at the basket, great finisher. The up and under here, great reverse finish off the glass. This was, I believe, the play he got hurt on against Kent State. Still finished the left-hand layup even with the contact. But just remember again, he's a guy, played 4 or 5 games. Why do we value Ja Morant over him? Is it because we saw him dominate in the tournament? Is it because we saw him at the end of the season put together a full, complete season? Darius Garland might be the better player when it's all said and done. I see a Dame, Kyrie type, explosive scorer, explosive finisher, really good touch, really good ball handler, really advanced playmaker. I see a guy who could easily end up being the best point guard in this draft. Again, make sure you read the full written report at lineups and pin to this YouTube. Please do me a favor, thumb up, hit that subscribe button. Whole lot more coming real soon. Thanks very much for watching.